Check.
And welcome to the University of Denver Soccer Stadium for a championship Saturday. It is the third-seeded Denver Pioneers hosting the fourth-seeded Omaha Mavericks. Two upsets in the semifinals. Will we see one here on this Saturday? We're about to find out, about to get going here for the Summit League Men's Soccer Championship at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium here in Denver, Colorado. I'm Chris Bianchi, and we'll have the full broadcast for you right here on the Summit League website. And a pleasure to have this one between two, well, I think it's safe to call them conference foes at this point. Two teams that have faced each other multiple times, not only this season, well, this will be the second time they faced each other this season, but multiple times in the postseason over the last few years. A year ago, it was the Denver Pioneers with a 1-0 victory in the Summit League title game in this exact same setting, but maybe a few different things. Both teams quite different from where they were a season ago. And we've got quite a bit to get into here, but start things out with the basics. From left to right will be the Denver Pioneers and the home whites, and trotting out on the field right now in black, and their road blacks will be the Mavericks, going from right to left on your screen. Omaha getting a 3-2 overtime victory, taking out the 1 seed Western Illinois back on Thursday in the early game. And the second game is the Pioneers using 2 penalty kicks to get a 2-0 shutout victory over the second-seeded Oral Roberts Golden Eagles. So 2 upsets, as I mentioned, in the semifinals for the Pioneers. It certainly was a bit of a battle for them, but Omaha did need 3 extra minutes of overtime before Pet Mateu got the goal off a header, and looks like Omaha setting up over the ball, and they will kick first here as both teams break out of their huddles. Referee this afternoon will be Arustamian. I apologize for not getting that one correct there initially, but because we get on through the game, and we'll hopefully not have to call the referee too much here this afternoon, so hopefully we won't get too much practice on that one. Meantime, getting about ready to kick here at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. Omaha bringing in their record of 4-8-4 overall, including 3-2-1 in conference play, including the win back on Thursday at Pioneers. 5-11-3, including a 3-2-1 mark in conference play. Pioneers did win 2-0, 2-0 against Omaha on this exact same field back on October the 12th. It was a dominating performance, frankly, from the Pioneers in that one. Could have been easily 3 or 4-0, but again, everything seems to change a little bit, doesn't it, in a postseason setting. We're underway now, and it's the Omaha Mavericks going from, again, right to left on your screen. On the ball right now is the game winner, the hero from Thursday, Pet Mateu, the center back from Barcelona, Spain, who had the header in the 4th minute of extra time to get the victory for Omaha. They also got goals from Marcos Bautista and Mitch Hammer. I thought Omaha played remarkably well, and one of the guys responsible for that is the guy on the ball right now, Diego Gutierrez, the talisman for this Omaha side. Sends it back over. A little movement here. Here's Neil Ayats, hounded by Destin Normand. Cole Nelson swings it out wide. This is Miguel Gomez, the sophomore left back, tries to cross the middle of the box, gets it off. Ball bounces around the penalty area. So Ayats with the ball right now, and it's ultimately cleared out, but not out by Denver. Nelson sets back up. A little early flurry here from the visiting Mavericks. Ball into the middle of the box, cleared away finally by Jacob Stenson, the junior captain from Stockholm, Sweden, for the Pioneers, number 10. But again, Omaha with the early possession here, the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. A couple of half chances from the Mavericks early on here. They'll certainly look to try and mix things up from what they did the last time they played here. Again, it was a 2-0 win for the Denver Pioneers, but it was an end-to-end dominating performance. Ball into the box. Will Palmquist does well to hang on to that one. The ball took a short hop on him, but he falls on the ball, and the redshirt junior goalkeeper from Denver East High School, local product, able to come up with the stop on the cross. Don't believe that will go down as a shot. Here's the true freshman, Aiden O'Toole. First time on the ball for him. Swings it out wide. Ball from Lucas Russo, the left back, and the transfer from Barry University. Looking, I believe, a little fortune there for the Pioneers. Ball bounces off the corner flag. That's a dangerous ball into the box. And that is going to be taken by Stefan De Leon and cleared away by Pet Mateu. And ultimately a foul the other way. But goodness me, what was that? Ball into the middle of the box. That is rule number 1 in soccer. That's from Kitty Kick there. You cannot kick the ball in your own half into the middle of the field like that if you're on the defensive side of things. And that was a very, very close call there for the Denver Pioneers, and nearly on a silver platter, the opening goal handed to the Pioneers. That was a serious miscue from the Omaha Mavericks back line, and I would imagine head coach Bob Warming for the Omaha Mavericks will have a word or two about that one at the halftime whistle, or maybe now. Lucas Russo on the ball as the Pioneers looking to maybe get a little offense going here. This is Preston Judd, the leading scorer. Preston Judd, top of the penalty area, taken down, and it's a foul the other way. And that'll be a Mavericks set piece, as Judd saying what happened. He was the one who went down, but referee saying, you know what, ball goes the other way. And so Jeremy Pollard, the junior goalkeeper from Australia, number 30 in red there for the Mavericks, going to set up over the ball. Pollard had a number of terrific saves for Omaha the last time these two teams met. As I mentioned, it was a dominating performance. Jamie Franks, the Pioneers head coach at the time, said it was the best performance of the season from DU. And Pollard, largely to credit for the fact that the scoreline was not more lopsided than the 2-0 scoreline ultimately led to. These two teams, again, familiar with one another. Omaha beating the Pioneers in 2017. So I mentioned last year it was the Pioneers and the Mavericks who met in the Men's Soccer League championship game. This is now the fourth straight Mavs-Pioneers Summit League Conference Championship tilt between these two sides in the men's soccer category. Again, the last time these two teams played here, it was a 1-0 victory for the Pioneers. It was an early goal from Andrei Shinyashiki. I should say it was actually Kenny Akamatsu who had the early goal that led to the victory for the Pioneers in that one. 2 years ago, Omaha won on penalty kicks when the tournament was at Caniglia Field. Ooh, chance here. This is Hermanson. Hermanson, the freshman, tries the tough angle there. As Connor McWilliams was back there for the Pioneers to do some of the desperate last-ditch defending there, and McWilliams did well to force Hermanson out wide, but that was a nice through ball and certainly a little bit of a wake-up call for the Pioneer back line after, yes, the Mavericks had a little bit of that early possession, but didn't really do a ton with it. Again, maybe a little bit of a wake-up call for that Pioneer back line, as it was Hermanson, the true freshman from Sweden, who had the shot. Went well wide of Will Palmquist's goal, but Palmquist had the angle there. It was going to take a pretty perfect shot and a real blast to beat Palmquist from that angle. McWilliams did well to force Hermanson out wide after a wonderful through ball. I believe that was Noah Yatz who had the initial through ball to get that Hermanson just about free there. It's a little windy here. You can probably hear that on the field mics. That Mother Nature going to play a little bit of a role. Watch those corner kicks again and crosses into the box. Pioneers with some possession here, and that's Dastam Normam. Wins the throw-in for the Pioneers pretty deep into the Mavericks half. The Pioneers, 3 years ago, back in 2016, nearly a giveaway there, and Normand did well to just blast that ball out of bounds, prevent a counterattack opportunity there from Omaha. 3 years ago in 2016, Denver winning 2-0 over Omaha, also in the championship game of the Summit League tournament. That preceded the Pioneers' run to the Final Four, the College Cup of NCAA soccer. The Pioneers went on that Cinderella run back in 2016, and that started with a 2-0 win right here at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium in the title game against Omaha. But these two teams have had some pretty epic battles over the years. I would expect today to be not that different. Gutierrez shielded out of bounds. Gutierrez, I think, wanted a foul as he kind of gets forced into the boards there, but good defending, I believe, from Callum Stretch, number 6, the sophomore from Los Angeles. Long pass here, going up to Stefan De Leon, the sophomore from Fort Collins. Preston Judd tangled up once again, and Judd whistled, the junior transfer from Henderson, Nevada, now getting a talking to from the referee. I think Judd is being told that happens again, we're going to have to card you, because usually a yellow card will come from one of two ways. It'll come from either a harsh foul initially or some sort of verbal altercation, or it'll come from an accumulation of fouls. And I think in this case, Judd getting that warning before he gets the formal yellow card. So he's going to have to be a little bit more careful. Here's Mateu, senior center back from Barcelona, Spain. As I mentioned, who had the game-winning goal. His first goal as a Maverick, by the way, back on Thursday afternoon. Pretty important one. Overtime in the conference semifinals, and Mateu's goal, the reason why the Mavericks are sitting here. Mavericks outplayed Western Illinois. They were the better side throughout the 90 minutes. They were they benefited from a Western Illinois straight red card late in the first half of that contest. But even down, man, Western Illinois went up 2-1. Omaha scored the first goal from Mitch Hammer, number 14. It was a wonderful sequence on that goal, too. And then Western Illinois got 2 goals. And then Omaha leveled it for Marcos Bautista with about 12 minutes left in regulation. And then the game went to overtime. Here's Palmquist. Liam Johnson, a sophomore from Golden High School, local product, and Stenson. Aiden O'Toole does well to break out here, the freshman from Austin, Texas. And Pioneers winning a throw-in. O'Toole back over to Stenson. As early on here, again, championship game, and if you joined us here on Thursday, you probably heard me say the exact same thing, but I'll repeat it because it is worth mentioning. You, in fact, saw a sign of it just a second ago. Fouls go the Pioneers' way. Usually in a championship game or in a postseason setup like this one, usually the first 15, 20 minutes or so, that's the time for butterflies. Remember, we're talking about college kids here. 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, so there's going to be a lot of butterflies and sometimes some errant passes, some missed crosses, things like that. Usually not the crispest soccer, and with two foes like these, there'll be a bit of a feel-out process. Watch this, though. Diego Gutierrez, one-on-one here on the outside. It's McWilliams versus Gutierrez, and well done there defensively from the Pioneers as Gutierrez tried to get around 2 Pioneers. He was fantastic on Thursday, but Gutierrez well defended there, at least early on. The Pioneers having their way on 50-50 balls, at least early on here, something to watch for, but Gutierrez, at least so far, has been stymied. Errant pass there from Aiden O'Toole, again, true freshman playing his first title game. You'll see a few of those sprayed balls here in the first few minutes. That's, again, a bit of a trademark. It's my 6th season doing these games for the University of Denver, so I certainly have seen a handful of these postseason matchups, and it tends to be pretty common to see something like that. Omaha, a little trouble getting the ball out of their own side. Stefan De Leon blasts the ball high up into the windy Denver sky. Judd tries to flick on a header, but goes right over to Jeremy Pollard. So about 10 minutes gone by. So far, haven't really seen a ton of action. No clear-cut chances for either side. Again, this is that initial feel-out process between the two teams. Typically, the way it tends to go in these sorts of games, the back half of the first half, you'll start to see a few more of those chances. Ooh, giveaway there from Mateu. And this is going to be a pass up. De Leon checks this down, but he is whistled offsides. De Leon saying, I thought Omaha touched it, but referee saying, or at least the line judge saying, And this is a set piece in the direction of the Omaha Mavericks. So again, second half, first half, final kind of 15, 20 minutes of the first half, you start to see things break out a little bit. Space here for Bautista, though. That's a chip of a pass, but a bit too much on from Marcos Bautista, who had the equalizer on Thursday, and it was Bautista who sends that one just a bit too far. And for Bautista, the senior from Albacete in Spain, the southeast corner of the country of Spain, well, a bit too far for that one. So it's a goal kick here for Will Palmquist. Bautista, senior I mentioned, he's also a transfer from Wisconsin, Green Bay. Long ball up. Mateu gets to it first. Veteran back line here, and one players I haven't mentioned yet, Seth Rinderknecht on the ball. Does well to take away from some attention there. Hermanson does well. Watch this. Hermanson inside the box. Sends it back over. Gutierrez tries to cut back over. A little bit too much there from Gutierrez after the wonderful move from Andreas Hermanson, the freshman from Sweden. But Omaha starts back up. That's promising there from the Mavericks. Bautista here on the left. Bit of an errant touch initially. Able to recover. Looking back post on that pass. Too much on that one. And this will be comfortably dealt with here by the Pioneers, and this will go out of bounds for a goal kick. But a nice sequence there, and it was all started by Andreas Hermanson, as I mentioned, the freshman, the Swedish freshman with the ponytail, number 13 up top for Omaha, who took the ball down, made a nice little cutover move, and has the presence of mind to flick it back over to Gutierrez. Gutierrez tried to, frankly, an extra touch they probably shouldn't have taken. Probably should have just one-timed it there. He had some space and time, and you don't get too many looks like that 6 yards out. Gutierrez opted to try and beat around his defender. Didn't work as Pioneers able to get the defensive work done. De Leon into the box. This is a dangerous ball. Back out to Stenson. Stenson crosses it back over, looking for Preston Judd, taken down. Cole Nelson able to clear it away for Omaha, but the Pioneers trying to cover at least their possession, and Connor McWilliams, ooh, watch that. That nearly ended up in a turnover from the pressing Diego Gutierrez. Ball up here, and a little bit more calm now from the Pioneers as they get the ball going from left to right. As I mentioned, Pioneers in the home whites, the crimson trim. Omaha in the road blacks. Ball up. That's a good one again. This will be taken out, and let's see what this is. It's a goal kick. I thought there might have been a little deflection there, but none, says referee Art Artuasian, our referee here this afternoon, and I will probably continue to struggle with that name, and my deepest apologies on that one. Jeremy Pollard setting up over a goal, and this will be another goal kick here for Jeremy Pollard, who really took over the starting job about mid-season from Ugo Tritz, the senior captain for Omaha. And Pollard, a transfer from Akron. If you're familiar with men's college soccer, Akron is one of the traditional powerhouses in the men's college soccer circuit. Pollard transferred, and well, you kind of see some of those accolades. Pollard has done quite well here in his starting stint for the Omaha Mavericks. In goal, we saw it, as I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, when these two teams faced off back on October the 12th. He had a number of saves to keep the score manageable from the Omaha side of things. Offsides whistle is up. We're going to have first substitutions of the game. It's going to come on the Omaha side of things. Number 26, Junior Natua, is going to see his first action of the contest. I think he's going to check in here for... Apologize. I don't think we're going to get the whistle. It'll be next whistle that we see Junior Natua come in. Natua had the assist on the first goal back on Thursday. Throwing coming in for the Pioneers.
Urgent here! Locked in, Connor. Locked in, Connor. What can happen?
Lucas Russo saying, hey, give me some space there to Diego Gutierrez, asking for the line judge for some help on that front. Long ball in. Ends up, I believe, Pioneer side of things. And a battle coming, and ultimately it's the Pioneers who come out, and there's some space here. Stenson sprinting out of his right back roll. Stenson with some room. Stenson working his way down the field, opts to cut it back in. Stenson, the junior, sends it over to the middle of the field. That's a blatant push. I don't know how that is not a foul there. And now we have a foul. It's on Josh Drack, but there was a two-handed shove on Drack, about a clear as day foul there, and I'm frankly quite surprised that there was no whistle given here. But Omaha maybe getting a little luck here. There's always going to be missed call or two, and in that case, I think Omaha the beneficiary. I think that's pretty safe to say. And Seth Rinderknecht, the senior center back from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, is going to send it over to his senior partner, Pat Mateu, who kind of fubs that pass. And that's a throw-in. That's an error there from Mateu, sort of thing that happens again. I mentioned this at the start of the broadcast. Keep in mind, we're talking about a championship game here. 17, 18, 19-year-old kids, so there's going to be some plays like that happen, and it's part of soccer players as young as the ones that we're looking at. High-stakes game. Winner of this game, I haven't mentioned this yet. This is an important anecdote. The winner of this game gets the automatic bid from the Summit League to the NCAA tournament, so yeah, thing or two on the line. De Leon crosses it into the box. That's into the waiting arms of Jeremy Pollard. Again, haven't seen a ton of offense from either side yet. Omaha in particular came out very, very forcefully against Western Illinois back on Thursday. And they really asserted themselves early on in that contest. And that obviously ultimately led to a victory for the Mavs, who had struggled mightily on the offensive side of things until that game. Long ball up. Watch this. Preston Judd trying to run onto it. Judd's going to get there first. Judd takes it down. Judd in the box, and this is an awkward play, and Pioneers asking for a penalty, and frankly, that looked like one. There's a lot of tugging, a lot of contact there between both Pet Mateu and Seth Rinderknecht on Preston Judd. We don't have the benefit of replay here. Would certainly want to take another look at that one. I will say at first glance, my instinct was that was a penalty, but none given. So Omaha maybe getting the benefit of the calls early on here. The Pioneer bench erupted immediately as soon as that play happened, and there was quite a lot of contact leading up to that as well. Judd appears to be in some pain as he's holding his right shoulder. Long pass up here, and Judd doesn't even go after. I think he's in some pain. May need a substitution, possibly. We're going to have a substitution regardless. This is going to be on the Omaha side of things. I mentioned this a second ago. Sophomore Junior Natua, the sophomore from Omaha, Creighton Prep, comes in. It's going to be Hermanson, who I thought provided quality minutes up top there. I mentioned he had the nice little flick over pass. He gets a big hug from head coach Bob Warming. I think that's perhaps in recognition of some of the quality minutes that Hermanson, the freshman from Sweden, brought to his team there. Pollard, the long boot up here, flicked back all the way to Will Palmquist. So Natua is going to go up top. Natua at 5'9", not quite the 6'1" of Hermanson. So you lose a little bit in height, but Natua had a beautiful back heel that led to the first goal for Omaha, as I mentioned, back on Thursday. So you got a bit more creativity up top with Natua. And Liam Johnson gets to it first. Natua is down, appears to be in some pain. Referee coming over to check in on him, and Miguel Gomez, number 11, sitting up for the throw, and he's waiting on his partner, and we're going to have a stoppage of the clock. 24:56 to go here in half number one of the Men's Soccer Summit League Championship game. I'm Chris Bianchi. Our absolute pleasure on an otherwise, it's a bit windy, otherwise it is a fantastic afternoon, temperature about 60 degrees, so the weather not really going to play a role. Could have a shower later on, but we're not really too worried about Mother Nature here, other than, again, we do have some gusty winds, about 15 to 20 miles an hour, so on a corner kick or across it in the box, that may come into play. Right now, though, again, it's been a fairly slow start from both sides. Just haven't seen a ton of opportunities. The typical championship games start to a contest where you see a bit of that feel-out process, some missed passes. That's been the story of the opening few minutes. The Pioneers did have a pretty good shot for a penalty about 3 minutes ago, if you're just joining us, and Preston Judd taken down into the box. The referee saying no penalty. It did look at first glance that we may have had a penalty, and the Pioneers erupted right away, saying that there should have been a penalty, but meantime, Natua is going to check out, at least for the moment. He's walking off under his own power. Getting looked to by Bob Warming, the head coach for the Omaha Mavericks. And it does appear at first glance he's all right. I think we're going to have another Omaha substitution here in the next few minutes as well. So it's Gomez, the left back from El Paso, Texas, who's going to chuck in the ball. This is not going to be a fair play situation. It's going to be a regular throw-in. Throw-in comes up to Marcos Bautista, the senior from Spain. Long ball up, looking for Preston Judd. Mateu's there first, but this is Josh Drack, crafty customer. Tries to send the ball out wide, a bit too much on it, and that's going to go out of bounds for a throw-in for Omaha. And I think we have another substitution coming in here from the Maverick side of the field. Noah Yachts is the one who goes out, the sophomore from Taradell, Spain. And coming in is the local product, Billy Hoffman, redshirt senior from Longmont, Colorado. That's about 25 miles north of this field here. Niwot High School product and the Western Nebraska Community College transfer. Hoffman seeing his first minutes of the Summit League tournament as he was suspended for the last game. Ball into the box looking for Stefan De Leon. Errant pass there from Hoffman. That's going to go out of bounds for a throw-in deep in the Omaha side of the field. And so it's Russo again who's going to take it. Sends it back over to Drack. Drask is going to send it into the box quickly here. Rinderknecht gets ahead to it. Ball bouncing around. Top of the box, though. Normam opts not to go for the shot. Ball back into the box. Judd with the header, but no real power on that one. Kind of lollipops it up, and that ends up easily into the arms of Jeremy Pollard, the keeper for Omaha. Ball in the middle field. Omaha quickly coming the other way. Here's Hammer on the ball. Hammer sends it down the right wing. Russo. And watch that one go out of bounds. Omaha trying a lot of those long passes. Haven't found a lot of success yet on that. They had one pass from a Yachts early on that did get to Hermanson. That's the only real long pass I can remember off the top of my head that's gone for any sort of noted success in the first 20-plus minutes or so. Pioneers have also looked at a long pass. Kind of interesting considering the windy conditions that we have here at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. But it's not windy enough to really warrant a change of game plan. But I would imagine the winds will be, again, maybe playing a little bit of a role here this afternoon. Kind of see on the jerseys a bit there. Rinderknecht, 4-year starter for Omaha, first team All-Summit League this season. He's got a big arm, too. That's a long throw in there from Rinderknecht. Aiden O'Toole, good-looking freshman up the field. Taken away, though, from Aiden O'Toole. Back over to Bautista, and Omaha going to try and start back up again. Again, pretty even opening half of the half. Judd does well to track that down, forces the throw in from Omaha, and allows the Pioneer defense to come back a little bit. Gomez going to throw in. Pretty good traveling contingency of Mavs fans here at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium, and it's going to be a throw in once again. Gomez deeper in Pioneer territory. Again, the Mavericks in their road blacks, Pioneers in their home whites. Omaha going from right to left on your screen, Denver left to right. Ball comes in, it's Bautista, back out to Gomez, back out to Bautista. Ball middle of the box. Stenson gets there first, or I should say Russo gets there first, then Normam blasts the ball up the field. Happy clear there. A couple of players down from both sides. It's Hoffman and Judd. And we're going to have a stoppage of play here. Rinderknecht and Judd setting up and talking with the referee. I'm kind of curious here if there's another talking to from the referee to Preston Judd, who Judd's going to just boot it back over to Jeremy Pollard from Omaha. So no harm, no foul there. On we go. Mateu with 21-15 and counting. Remember, we go down if you're kind of new to college soccer, just tuning in for the first time, and you're a fan of regular soccer, Premier League, international soccer. You count down in college soccer, and stoppages of play, there's no injury time. It's a stoppage of play, and it reflects on the scoreboard. Normam over for the Pioneers. Drac hounded. You can see the game plan here from Omaha is really trying to contain Josh Drac, the junior from Arizona, who transferred here from Grand Canyon University. And a little tugging and such going on the far side of the field, but no whistle given, and Omaha starts back up. Gomez over into the middle to Bautista, who's been an active customer here in the early goings. Drac, by the way, I forgot to mention this. He did get the second goal for the Pioneers back on Thursday in the semifinal. It came with 3 seconds to go off a penalty kick, as Oral Roberts had thrown basically all their numbers forward, seeking that equalizer, understandably, and then Drac on the other end came up with the breakaway and was taken down, and it led to a goal. Long pass coming up here to Stefan De Leon. Ball goes off Pet Mateu, and this will be a throw in once again for Denver. Stenson's going to take this one. The opening goal. Aaron passes here, and watch this. This may be a breakaway opportunity coming up. Gutierrez one-on-one on Normam. Sends it over. This is Natua, and what a save from Will Palmquist. And the Pioneers able to keep it in, or at least initially it's going to go out of bounds, actually, for a corner kick. But Will Palmquist, wonderful stuff there as Junior Natua, the best chance of the game for either side. off of a breakaway. It was a tough angle, but Natua did well with it. One-time flicks it, and it's a great save from Palmquist to keep things level here at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. Junior Natua with the opportunity just a moment ago, but it does lead to a corner kick coming up here for Omaha. First one of the game for them. Great save there from Palmquist. Wow, fantastic stuff from him. Ball back post. Leaping on up, couple of players there. I think this is going to go out of bounds for a throw-in for Omaha, as I believe it was Estam Normam, who, number 8 for Denver, the holding mid, who got his head to it first and able to flick it out of bounds and away from initial danger. Throw-in coming in, this is going to be Gomez. Ball back post, and watch this. Ball bouncing around a little bit and cleared away from Josh Drack, and this will be a throw-in coming up from Cole Nelson and the Omaha Mavericks. And the number 10 for Omaha, Diego Gutierrez, didn't get a goal in the semifinal, but he was the best player on the field for both Western Illinois, the number 1 seed, and the 4th seeded Mavericks. Gutierrez was the leading scorer for Omaha a year ago. He's only got a goal and 3 assists so far this season. The reason why I say only, again, he was the leading scorer last year, but he also got injured middle of the season, just hasn't been entirely himself. He wasn't himself in the last game that these two teams played one another. He was just coming back from that injury that he suffered against Creighton. And the point being is that is a bit of a difference on the offensive side of things for Omaha. And Gutierrez, real stalwart for this Omaha side. When he's good, he's really good, and he was fantastic on Thursday. Best player on the field for both sides, and there's little doubt about that one. Preston Judd, though, on the other side of the field. Ooh, and that is a blatant shove there from Miguel Gomez on Preston Judd, and some discussions with the referee about a possible yellow card there. It was a pretty clear shoulder right into Preston Judd. Gomez kind of stood over him for a second, which is why I thought initially he may be in trouble for a booking, but this will essentially go as a corner kick here for Denver. Most favorable set-piece opportunity of the Pioneers so far this afternoon. Let's see what they can do with it. It's Josh Drack standing over the ball, takes it quickly, top of the box with some room is Aiden O'Toole. O'Toole sends it back post. Initially no, O'Toole on the follow-up, still not there. Russo with the chance. Russo sends it, and a lot of black bodies up top there for Omaha, able to deflect that initial string of shots and keep things, well, at least level for now, as that was a promising string of opportunities, and well done there from Drack to recognize O'Toole wide open at the top of the box as Omaha committed all their numbers going forward. This is a pass that was an attempted pass there from Normam to De Leon. Shot here from Judd, and that goes into the back of the net. Oh my goodness! Oh my! It doesn't get better than that. Preston Judd with an absolute screamer. Holy cow, 1-0 Pioneers. And that, folks, is as good as it gets. I've never wanted replay more than now. That is just absolutely ridiculous there from Preston Judd. From about 30 yards out on the volley, one-times it into the back of the net. And here in the 28th minute of action, the Pioneers find themselves up top thanks to an absolutely unbelievable goal from Preston Judd, his 7th of the season, and it came on a one-time volley. Holy cow, that was unbelievable there from Preston Judd, and that is the best goal I have seen on this field in some time. And for the Pioneers, that puts them up 1-0. Drax subs out. Kengo Hira, the true freshman, 3 goals so far the season, comes on. And here we are, 1-0 Denver, off of an absolute screamer from Josh Drack. Buries it into the corner again, one-times it. And folks, again, that is Sports Center material right there. That was that level of goal. 30 yards out for that kind of goal to happen in a championship game like this one. Well done there, young lad. Preston Judd, the junior from Henderson, Nevada, transferred in here. He's had his struggles at times. Hasn't scored perhaps at the rate that may have been initially thought based on the resume he brought in here. Again, I mentioned he's a transfer coming over from Cal Baptist, where he scored 15 goals in 2 seasons. Boy, he's turned it on late here. Has had some big goals late in the campaign for the Pioneers, and none bigger than that one in the championship game against Omaha right here at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. Preston Judd with the best goal that I've seen from the Pioneers so far this season. Been spending the last, I don't know, 2.5 minutes trying to think of a better goal that I've seen not only this season from either the Pioneers or an opponent of theirs, or just a Pioneer goal period. That, again, I truly wish we had a replay. I believe we'll have that on Twitter, the Summit League Twitter, at the Summit League, all one word. If you are into Twitter, I believe that is the best way to try and see that goal. And folks, even if you're an Omaha Mavs fan, I think you're going to want to tune in for that one. But on we go here. Half hour in to half number one. Seth Ritterneck, long ball. Again, it's been a pretty even half, and frankly, I might even give the slight nod to Omaha. They've had some pretty solid possession. That was the first, I should say, that was the second clear-cut opportunity of the afternoon for Denver. There was a string of shots from Aiden O'Toole at the top of the box that were initially blocked, but let's see what happens here. Stam Normand wrestled down. This will be a set-piece opportunity coming up for Denver. And this is fairly promising, I would say, from the Pioneer side of the field. Jacob Stenson, I should say it was actually Kengo Ohira who was taken down there. So it's going to be Stenson who's going to set up over the ball. Quite a few bodies come forward. Callum Stretch, 6'4". Watch him as this ball comes in from Stenson. Back post and headed away initially. Natua, looked like there was a handball there, but none given by the referee. So maybe on the counter, an opportunity coming up here for Omaha, but well done there from De Leon to recover and come back and get the ball. Russo with a little bit of room and time opts to send it out wide to Jacob Stenson. Stenson, who's now, I believe, slotted in at left back. He's playing primarily right back at the start of this contest, seeing some tactical switches here from Jamie Franks and company. Stam Normand, the holding mid. He's played at right back a fair bit so far this season as well. He's fouled by Ed Gordon, one of the new substitutes for Omaha. I thought Gordon had a very, very good game. Very competent holding mid last time out for Bob Warming's side. Gordon, the junior from Omaha, also from Creighton Prep High School, like Junior Natua. Ball up here, looking for Stefan De Leon and Pep Mateu. Go after it. Mateu wins the header. Mateu's been very solid in that center back role. Long ball from Gomez goes to nobody in particular, but Liam Johnson, the sophomore from Golden High School, tracks it down. Giveaway though. O'Toole does well to get that ball away and avoid further trouble. Stenson and Johnson deciding who's going to take the ball, and I think it's going to be Liam Johnson here. He's going to send it back over to Will Palmquist. Palmquist, just about 5 minutes before the goal from Preston Judd in the 28th minute, in the 23rd, Palmquist came up huge with a fantastic reflex diving save to his left on a tough angle shot from Junior Natua. Palmquist did well to save that one and sending it out of bounds and away from any possible rebound. It was a good reflex save from Palmquist. The only save he's had to make so far. Pollard also does have a save to his name as well. But it's the Pioneers with the 1-0 advantage. They're looking to double that. 11 minutes and change here in half number one. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us here. Ball into the box, back post, or looking back post for Callum Stretch over everybody, and ultimately it's the offside whistle that sends the ball the other way. And I mentioned, again, nice afternoon here. Championship soccer between two conference foes that have a long history of battling in these sorts of situations against one another. See how this one ends up. But from the Pioneer side of things, it's got to be at least a bit on the promising side that they've started with the 1-goal advantage. Last time these two teams met was about a month ago. The Pioneers won 2-0 right here at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. Set piece coming up here for Omaha. Interesting whistle, or interesting placement in terms of where this could be. I would imagine this is too far out for a shot. This is 40 yards from goal. Gomez is going to set up, which tells you this will probably be a cross. Another whistle, stoppage whistle, and I think we're going to have a yellow card here. This is going to be probably due to some sort of... Oh, never mind. I should say, I thought he was running over to a player there. I thought there was some barking and some talking going on, but referee goes over to talk with the line judge, and not sure, obviously I'm not in on that conversation about what they're discussing, but maybe over who to yellow card. I think we're going to have a card here. Is a couple players being brought over. It's Billy Hoffman, number 12, and Lucas Russo, number 2 for Denver, are being brought over. And I think it's going to be a discussion of, hey, I don't want to use yellow cards in a championship game. Again, a good referee will try to stay out of a big contest like this one, let the field and the play decide it. And I think the referee's saying, I don't want to get involved, but if you guys keep shoving and trash talking each other, whatever was going on between them, I'm going to have to use a yellow card, so knock it off. Would be my guess. Cross in, headed up, but not out by Connor McWilliams. Ball still bouncing around, and a bicycle kick, athletic play there from Stenson. Goes up to Kengo Ohira, the true freshman from Tokyo, Japan. Judd taken down. Seth Rinderneck gets the ball. It's going to be a Pioneer throw-in as the Pioneer is able to escape danger on that set piece, and this will be a throw-in coming up here for Denver, and substitution comes in as well. Russo is out. Lucas Russo, the sophomore left back, is out. I'll get you, comes in here in just a second. It's Eli Mirnis, the substitute, coming in here for the Denver Pioneers, number 23. Long pass goes all the way up to Will Palmquist, and you'll see this one through. Aaron Uribe checks in for Omaha as well. Eli Mirnis, a freshman midfielder from Cherry Creek High School, gets his first minutes of the contest. Was talking with the assistant coaching staff. They were saying that they were going to try and get him a bit more involved this afternoon. Other side of the field, Aaron Uribe, the leading scorer for Omaha with 3 goals, comes in as well. The 6'1" junior from San Diego, California, but he's familiar with the altitude. He's a transfer from the Air Force Academy, which, if you're unfamiliar, is about an hour and a half down the road in Colorado Springs. So Uribe, familiar with the altitude, also familiar with this field. He played in the NCAA tournament this field a year ago. O'Toole, promising possible opportunity coming up there, but a giveaway from him. Possible chance on the counter coming up here for Omaha. It's Natua back over to Gutierrez. Gutierrez opts to slow it on down. I should say it's actually Stevie C, the right back, with the ball, and counter stretch with a good foot there. Sends it up to Judd. Judd has a toe poked away from him, and back and forth we go in possession, but it's ultimately Omaha who winds up with it. It's going to go out wide to Pet Mateu. Mateu, the senior grad transfer. He's getting a degree in mathematics. How about that? Obviously a smart guy, Pet Mateu, and a hero. Got the game-winning goal on Thursday night, but now all eyes on the real prize, the championship, and the automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. Pet Mateu back over to the middle to his fellow Spaniard, Marcos Bautista. Bautista cuts in, hounded there by Aiden O'Toole. Ohira on Gordon. Gordon crosses it. It's a good cross. Uribe and McWilliams battling for it. McWilliams gets there first. That's Normam. He's going to send it out wide. Stenson able to keep it in. Sends it up to De Leon, but a bit of an errant touch there as De Leon gives the ball back to Gomez, and we have a foul, I believe, and this will be a set-piece opportunity coming up for Omaha. And this will, again, be one of those de facto corners, not officially a corner kick, but in terms of the positioning and such, this will be close to that. Mentioning Uribe, one thing to know about Omaha is they had a breakout of bronchitis. Talk about great timing. Good. Last week, 5 players coming down with bronchitis, and that's why I think you're seeing some different players that players like Martin Bays, the sophomore from France, who's usually a regular, Uribe, who's usually a starter, some of those players that normally would be in the starting 11 getting limited minutes due to this outbreak of bronchitis. But Omaha played well on Thursday despite that. They also got a 0-0 draw at San Diego State in their season finale. Looking for something here, though. It's Gomez and Bautista standing over the ball. Bautista's going to take it. Looking back post. It flicks up, but it's going to go out of bounds. It's a goal kick. This goes off the head of, I believe, Pep Mateu or Seth Rinderneck. One of the center backs, I think, got there first. In case you didn't hear, that's Dylan Keeney, the redshirt junior from Littleton, who comes in for his first minutes of the contest. Stefan De Leon, the sophomore from Fort Collins, checks out after De Leon doing his usual running around, and he is kind of the energized bunny up top there for the Pioneers. For Mirnas, nice little run up. Sends a very nice ball up there to Dylan Keeney, at least an interesting one. Keeney does well to run it down, and Keeney maybe a little bit overactive there as he takes down Rinderneck. That'll be a set-piece opportunity the other way. Keeney, a redshirt junior from Littleton, Colorado, and Heritage High School, a Real Colorado Club Academy product. And Keeney playing his 19th game, I should say 20th game so far this season, with 9 shots so far this season, including 5 on goal. But he plays usually as a winger. Usually he's in the right wing spot, but he'll be kind of playing in more of that left wing role here this afternoon for Jamie Franks. Preston Judd playing as a true number 9. Lone up top guy there for the Pioneers. Aaron pass there from Omaha, and Pioneers trying to take it the other way. Here's Kenga Ohira, who's got some moves. Number 91, true freshman, 3 goals so far this season. Ohira, one-on-one against Mateu. Mateu does well to save that from going out for a corner kick as Ohira tried to nutmeg him and deflected off Mateu and nearly went out for a corner kick, but could be a throw-in. Ball back over to Jacob Stenson. Stenson, I'll send him back over. Remember here with the Pioneers, that 1-0 advantage. And you don't need to necessarily be pushing quite as hard for goal, and possession, particularly in the second half, does just as well sometimes. Ball over here to Stenson. Jacob Stenson, sophomore. That's a good-looking ball up there to Kenga Ohira. Ohira dancing around a couple of defenders. Ohira, nice ball over to Judd. Judd turns around. Judd with a tough angle, and that's well defended there from Billy Hoffman, but that goes out for a corner kick, and I believe that is the first true corner kick of the afternoon for the Denver Pioneers. And nice start after a bit of a nice little run of possession there from the Pioneers. Well done there to earn the corner kick. And again, this is the kind of possession that you want if you're DU. Able to tick some of those seconds off the clock. We're certainly a bit too far away from the end whistle, that not really too worried about the clock yet, but I think the Pioneers would certainly take a 1-0 advantage to the halftime locker room. Stenson looking for Ohira, back out, but Keeney gonna set back up. Keeney back over to Mirnas, and Keeney with some space on the outside. We have a whistle. Is that offsides? Yes, we do have an offsides whistle there. And so this will be a set piece the other way coming up for Omaha. The Mavs, who really struggle offensively. They hadn't scored in 4 games leading up to the semifinal against Western Illinois. Then they exploded with 3 goals and frankly could have had more. The goalkeeper for Western Illinois was excellent. Tim Trilk coming up with a number of fantastic saves to keep it at, quote, just 3 goals. Natua is shoved down by Connor McWilliams. So this will be a set-piece opportunity coming up here for Omaha with 2:20 to go here in half number 1. So the Mavs maybe with a chance coming up here. It's Bautista standing over the ball. Bautista curls it back post. Flicked out of bounds, but it's flicked out by Kenga Ohira, who gets just a little bit of a boot to it. Pretty visible there. And so that'll go out of bounds for an Omaha corner kick. Martin Bays, mentioned him, one of the players I believe afflicted by that bronchitis outbreak. So the sophomore from Caen, France, comes in for his first minutes of the game. Junior Natua checks out. And we're seeing a bit of tugging and jostling back and forth between players of the opposing side. So referee coming on over and saying, hey, knock it off, none of that. No extracurricular activities. Bautista's going to take this corner. Second one for Omaha. Goes right in the middle of the box and foul. And ooh, we have some action after the whistle here, and saw that one coming here, and we'll see what's going on here, but this is certainly quite interesting, and I'm going to turn down the mic because some not so family-friendly language going on there, but we'll see what's going on in this one. It's a whistle the other way, that much we know, but what happens after? I would imagine we're going to see a card here based on what we saw. Palmquist appears to be okay. Rinderknecht, the captain for Omaha, comes on over and is being talked to by the referee. Again, I think this is one of those no-nonsense situations. Knock it off or you will end up in the book sort of situations. I think that now some of those initial hostilities have ended between the two sides. We can turn that field mic back up again. And that results in no cards, and I actually really love that style of refereeing. Again, it's a championship game between two talented teams. The last thing you want is a red card or a yellow card or a number of yellow cards to get in the way of who is the winner and who is the champion of the Summit League. And so I think the referee just saying, I don't want to get involved, but if you keep doing this, you keep having those shoves and curses and things like that, then the yellow card will have to come out at some point. And boy, you got to think that could be a chippy end to this one. Tends to be between these two sides. We've got about 65 seconds left here in half number one. Stoppage of play, though. That's the fourth official is coming on over, talking with the main referee. Bob Warming and the Omaha staff seem to be upset about something. And looks like the referee is going to go over and talk to the head coach for Omaha, Bob Warming. And I think, again, another one of those situations saying, I don't mind you having some conversations with the fourth official, but if you keep going down this path, you're going to end up with a yellow card. Bob Warming seems to be relatively calm as he explains something or something that he thinks he's seeing over to the referee here. And again, we got 63 seconds left in half number one. Referee now, I think, got a signal play on, so it's a throw-in coming up. And on we go. No cards given somehow. Nearness up to Normand. Ball goes out of bounds. This will be a throw-in coming up here for Denver's. Again, they're again, you go into the halftime whistle with a 1-0 lead. I think that's a success of an opening 45 minutes.
Billy, the second ball, tag on.
And the clock continues to tick on down. Less than 30 seconds to go here in half number one. Stevie C, the junior, heads it out of bounds. Maybe the Pioneers with one more opportunity to go as Mearness is going to take a throw in.
Billy.
10 seconds, so the Pioneers got to hurry up if they want to get something in. Can go Hira. You'll see this one out of bounds to be a throw-in. So this is how the first half will end, with a 1-0 advantage in favor of the Denver Pioneers, and that coming on one of the best goals that you will see here, folks. Oh my goodness. First thing I'm going to do as soon as this halftime whistle, as soon as we get to the break here, is take a look at that goal again. It's a 28th minute screamer from 30 yards out from Preston Judd that led to the Pioneers' 1-0 advantage after 45 minutes of play, but we got 45 minutes to go. And so we'll be back with you in about 14 minutes time for the call of the second half. Again, the halftime score of the Summit League Men's Soccer Championship game, Denver 1, Omaha 0. We'll be back with the second half here in about 14 minutes.
Keep up with the Summit League wherever you go by following the Summit League on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For all the latest news scores and behind-the-scenes photos, like the Summit League Facebook page and follow the Summit League on Twitter and Instagram. Fans, take home a souvenir from today's championship. Visit the Summit League merchandise stand, located at the top of the grandstand for great championship gear. The Summit League would like to thank Hospitality, the official team travel provider of the Summit League Championships. For more information about Select Hospitality, visit selecthospitality.com. Select Hospitality, you manage the team, we will manage the travel. Air Force Special Warfare for individuals who are dedicated to defending the nation. Today, the U.S. Air Force would like to congratulate all the athletes for their dedication and hard work throughout the year and during the championship. College soccer fans, tune in to watch the NCAA Division I Men's Soccer Championship Selection Show on Monday, November 18th. Visit ncaa.com/collegecup to download the bracket for game broadcast information. That's ncaa.com/collegecup.
And welcome back to half number 2 here of the Summit League Men's Soccer Championship. I'm Chris Bianchi. Our pleasure to have you with us in a hotly contested final. It ends. The first half ended with a 1-0 scoreline in favor of the Denver Pioneers, but it was a pretty even half all in all. It took one out of this world strike from Preston Judd, man marked tightly, and he unleashed a shot from about 30 yards out that beat the goalkeeper for Omaha, Jeremy Pollard. And so we find ourselves with a 1-0 scoreline. Quickly want to get you some stats from the first half. Of course, the most important one on the scoreboard, the 1-0 final, at least in terms of the score after the first 45. No yellow or red cards for either side, despite the fact there was quite a bit of pushing and shoving, particularly towards the end of the half. Denver did outshoot Omaha by a 4-3 count, including a 2-1 outshooting in terms of shots on goal. 9 fouls to Denver to 7 for Omaha, and 2 Mavericks corner kicks to 1 for the Denver Pioneers. But we got a long ways to go in this one. 45 minutes if it ends in a draw. Then we would go to 2 10-minute overtime periods where we go to the golden goal rules. First to score wins, and then after that, it would be penalty kicks. About ready for half number 2 here, as it's the Pioneers setting up over the ball. The goal scorer, number 9, Preston Judd, with his 7th of the season. He gets ready to send the ball and get the second half underway. Referee about ready to blow his whistle and get things back underway here in half number 2, and we count down here in college soccer. So down at 44:57 to go in the second half of the Summit League Men's Soccer Championship. Liam Johnson on the ball, right back, is again the Pioneers going from right to left now here in half number 2 in their home whites. Omaha from left to right in their road black uniforms. And it's Normand who wins a takeaway in the middle of the park, sends it over to Stefan De Leon. De Leon back over to Normand, give and go there. Doesn't work out. Omaha recovers. And they'll play the ball out of the back. Rinderknecht opts to send the long pass up. McWilliams tussling with Diego Gutierrez. Where does this whistle go? It's going to go the Pioneers' way as I think Gutierrez is going to get called for ball over the back, as Gutierrez, number 10, Omaha's best attacking threat, no doubt about that one, though he doesn't have the most goals. He has 1 goal so far this season. He is very creative on the ball and plays like a true number 10. Kind of plays in a bit of a free role where he's kind of able to go wherever he wants as long as he's able to get in an attacking position. Nice read there by Connor McWilliams, who's played a nice game so far here this afternoon for Jamie Franks' side. Again, no cards in the first half, despite the fact that things got pretty chippy. If you're just joining us, it was a 28th minute goal from Preston Judd. That was a screamer. Ooh, long pass up here. We'll get you that recap in just a second. Stretch with the header over to Russo, and the Pioneers will work it out, though it's given away to Nil Ayat. And one back by Josh Drack. Well done there by Drack, the junior, the transfer from Grand Canyon University. Billy Hoffman, local pride from Longmont, Colorado. I mentioned the first half, so ended with that 1-0 scoreline. Thanks to that terrific goal from Preston Judd. And that, if you want to see it, it's on the Twitter page of the Summit League and also Denver Men's Soccer. You can check those out. Check it out either one of those 2 ways. But then things got kind of increasingly chippy as the half wore on. Tends to be that way in particularly in a conference championship like this one. And these are 2 foes playing in their 5th straight conference final. In men's soccer, these 2 teams are each other's biggest enemies, and that's going to be a whistle against Seth Rinderneck. And that'll mean the Pioneers get a set-piece opportunity pretty deep into the Omaha half. And so for the Pioneers, this will be not quite essentially a corner kick, but this will be certainly an intriguing play there. As I think it's Billy Hoffman arguing the exact placement of where that ball should be, but Stenson and Drack doesn't really, it's actually Mitch Hammer who's doing the arguing there, but it's Drack and Stenson setting up over the ball. Drack 19, Stenson 10. Count stretch 6'4", number 6 to watch for up top. Preston Judd 6'3". Ball curls in. That's a good ball up there, and Seth Rinderneck does well to head that one away. That was a trouble ball there. That was a really well taken set piece from Jacob Stenson, curling right into the possible heads there of a couple of Pioneer attackers, but it'll wind up being the Pioneers that get the corner kick. For them, it's corner number 2 of the afternoon. See what they can do to this one. It's Josh Drack who's going to take the corner. And for the Pioneers, this is now precious possession time that they have with the lead. Drack heads into the middle of the box. This one's bouncing around a little bit. Ball still bouncing in the penalty box, but it's ultimately going to be cleared away by Omaha. And a couple bodies down here. It's Eli Mirnas, or I should say Connor McWilliams and Pat Mateu, who wrestle around for the ball. Meantime, this will be an Omaha throw-in about the halfway stripe. And we have a stoppage of play here. Trying to see what's going on there. I think we have a 4th. Oh, no, I should say it's a Pioneer that is down. It appears to be Calum Stretch number 6, but he's okay. So on we go. Calum Stretch, the sophomore center back. 1 goal so far this season from Los Angeles, California. Second team All-Summit League player for the Pioneers. Snom Normand boots the ball a long ways up, looking for Preston Judd. Seth Rinderneck and Judd tussling for it. Judd is whistled, and Rinderneck wins that battle. Rinderneck, a senior, so is Pat Mateu. So 2 players. Well, unless the Omaha Mavs get a goal here in the final 40 minutes, certainly plenty of time to go, but season's on the line here. If you're a Mavs fan, you got to be at least encouraged that the Mavs found themselves in a similar situation just 48 hours ago. In fact, just a little over 48 hours ago, right on this very field, as Western Illinois was up 2-1 in the second half, and Omaha found the equalizer in the 78th minute to send that game into overtime, which ultimately Omaha won. About 4 minutes into the second overtime, Omaha got a goal, a thumping header from Pat Mateu that wound up being the game-winning goal and helped the Mavs book a ticket in their 5th straight conference final. Impressive transition to Division I soccer for the side. Jacob Stenson setting up for the throw-in here. Ooh, that's a poor ball. That's Uribe with a little bit of space. Closed down well by Normand and taken away by De Leon. All sent out. Over to Aiden O'Toole. O'Toole. Ooh, and a little bit too much on that one, so it goes out of bounds. Throw in for Omaha. Hoffman. Hoffman, as I mentioned, from about 45 minutes up the road from Longmont, Colorado, the Niwot High School product. Only player from the state of Colorado on this Omaha roster. Header, that's going to go out of bounds. Throw-in coming up here for Omaha, and we have a substitutions. Martin Vase, the sophomore from Caen, France, who comes in for his first minutes of the second half. I think it's Aaron Uribe who's going to check out. Vase plays a bit more of a winger, a bit of a crafty player on the outside. Uribe, more of a kind of number 9, through and through a striker. So Hammer's going to have the throw in here. 13:08 to go in the second half. Bautista. Throw in, and I think this is going to go Omaha's way. Or I should say, this is going to go the Pioneers' way here. A little back and forth about whose ball it was, but the Pioneers will be happy with the result as they'll get a set piece, as it was an offsides actually whistled here by the referee. It's Will Palmquist who's going to take the long goal kick here. You can actually hear the traveling contingent of Omaha fans, quite a few of them here at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium, making the trip from Caniglia Field and the campus of the University of Nebraska at Omaha. Cole Nelson spins around here. Nelson, middle of the park, doesn't have too many options, but finds one in Bautista. Bautista quickly sends it out wide. Gomez, he's got some space, moving forward. O'Toole closes him down a little bit. Bautista hounded by O'Toole. Bautista, nice ball out wide here to Hammer. Hammer had the opening goal in the semifinal. Ball taken down there, and all ball, says the referee, at least the line judge. Judd wins this foot race, tries to take down Hammer, and we're going to have a foul the other way, and I wonder... Judd getting yelled at by the traveling contingent of Omaha fans who are a little fired up there, and on we go. Quickly taken here by the Mavericks. Again, clock is a bit more of their enemy now, as for the Pioneers, they want that clock to tick as quickly as possible at that 1-0 advantage. Line judge calling over the main referee. There's going to be a discussion about what happened maybe in that recent exchange between Judd, Lucas Russo, and Mitch Hammer, coming over to hear about what's going on between the referee and the line judge. Russo and Hammer high five. Maybe it was something involving those two, but, or more importantly, I think the referee just saying get out of here to the two of them. And curious to see if we'll see any further discussions. Referee is asking for the ball. Going over to talk to, I think, Jacob Stenson, the captain for the Pioneers. And it's going to be just a long boot down, so on we go. Next whistle looks like Kengo Hira will check in for the Pioneers. I would imagine that would come in place of Stefan De Leon. Ball into the middle. This is Cole Nelson for Omaha. Again, the Mavs going from left to right on your screen here in the road blacks, while the Pioneers in the home whites. Ooh, long pass up. It's a good one. Gutierrez on the volley. It's deflected and well defended there by Connor McWilliams, who's able to get a block. And Gutierrez, I honestly don't know what he's arguing there. I don't know if he's arguing if there was a handball, but it looks to be a very clean. I mean, it was off the volley, and there wasn't, I don't think, any contact involved there from McWilliams, but Gutierrez arguing something. But it was a very good long pass to get down to Gutierrez in the first place. Long pass from Palmquist. Go out all the way down for a throw-in deep in their own halves. It's Pep Mateu and Omaha are going to chuck the ball in here. About 10 minutes, a little less than 10 minutes gone by here in the second half. Pioneers looking for their second consecutive Summit League Tournament championship and second straight trip to the NCAA tournament in their third and fourth years. I should say their fourth and fifth year, 5 years. So Pioneers making it a habit to get into the NCAA tournament, and they're a little less than 35 minutes away from doing it again. Omaha looking for their second trip to the NCAA tournament. They did it in 2017. Gomez into the middle. Vase, the ball. Sends it in the middle of the box. It's a good ball there from Vase. Nobody home, though, from Omaha. And Pioneers going to have to send the ball all the way on up to Billy Hoffman in the Omaha back line. Omaha retaining possession as they're Denver kind of consolidating a bit into a shell. They're kind of putting 9-10 players behind the ball at all times. Defensive posture here from the Pioneers, which you might expect. Home field up 1-0 in the second half of a championship game. And if you're just joining us, Preston Judd, 28th minute goal, I should say, off a screamer, fantastic goal scored by Judd, his 7th of the season. That's the difference so far. Gutierrez, though, looking to equalize for Omaha. Gutierrez gets around one player, sends it back post, but way too much on that one. Goes well over the Omaha attackers, and that'll go out of bounds for a goal kick. Ohira comes in. It's actually Preston Judd who's going to check out. I don't think Judd checked out at all in the first half, so maybe a little bit of a breather for the star striker for the Denver Pioneers, the leading goal scorer, Preston Judd. Ohira, though, with 3 of his own, including one that was in terrific style a couple weeks ago against the University of Rhode Island, right here at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. It's actually 2 weeks ago to the day that Ohira scored that wonderful goal. Pioneers did lose that game in overtime, though. Drac does well to retain possession here for Denver. This is Russo. Russo over in the middle of the field. Normam out wide here. Johnson. Nice ball up there to looking for Ohira. Doesn't handle it well initially. Nelson retains possession. Pioneers trying to hold on to it, though, and De Leon blasted up, but it'll be an Omaha throw in here. Pep Mateu, who scored the game-winning goal in the semifinal for Omaha back on Thursday, is going to throw it in here. 2 very good center backs for Omaha with Mateu and Seth Rinderknecht. Mateu was on the all-newcomer team for the Summit League, while Rinderknecht was first team All-Summit League. Second time he's earned that honor as Rinderknecht, a senior. He's on the ball right now, earning All-Summit League honors in 3 of his 4 years. He was second team All-Summit League in 2017, first team All-Summit League in 2016, and here in 2019. Senior out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. He's done well defensively here. I think Omaha defensively has played a very good game. The goal kind of, wouldn't call it a fluke. It was just a fantastic shot from 30 yards out, but it was well defended. Just one of those goals, frankly, he just tipped the cap on that one. Wasn't an error defensively by any stretch by the Mavericks. A little over 13 minutes gone by here in half number 2. Stenson and the Pioneers in control thanks to that Judd goal. Long pass up. It's mishandled initially there. Rinderknecht's got to be careful. De Leon takes down Rinderknecht. Whistle goes the other way. Stefan De Leon does not like the calls. He kind of came in pretty hot there. Says he got all ball and he fell down. What was I supposed to do? But referee says, it's a whistle going the other way. Stretch heads it into the middle, but it's Bautista who comes up with it for Omaha. Mavericks getting more of the possession here in half number 2 as you might anticipate with them down a goal. Ayat's back over to Bautista. Bautista swings it out into the near side of the field, and Mitch Hammer. Ayat's over to Vase. Vase, the sophomore from France. I think one of the players afflicted by that bronchitis outbreak on the Omaha side. Bautista, he's got a little room. Again, Denver going back into a very defensive posture here with all 11 players behind the ball right now. A little attack here from De Leon, but Gutierrez working his way around De Leon. And Stenson does well defensively, gets the ball out. Pioneers done pretty well so far on Gutierrez for the most part. Gutierrez was all over the place against Western Illinois back on Thursday. Well handled there by Drax. The Pioneers able to recoup and get some possession, some needed possession, as Omaha was starting to take over on the possession side of things. Good ball up here. O'Hara and Rinderknecht in a foot race, and Rinderknecht will see it out of bounds. Well defended there by Seth Rinderknecht, who read that pass from Stenson. It was a good pass, looking for a streaking O'Hara, but again, well defended by the senior captain, Seth Rinderknecht. Jeremy Pollard, whose name we haven't had to call yet this half, the goalkeeper for Omaha's, sitting on up for a long boot. Doesn't appear to be happy with something on his side of on his team. Gets the change he asked for. Russo gets the head for Denver, but Omaha comes up with possession. I was mentioning Omaha getting a fair bit of possession here in the last few minutes. Still a long time to go here. This is an eternity in soccer terms. Half an hour, a little less than half hour left here in half number 2. Cole Nelson on the ball. Bautista, senior. Nelson also a senior, by the way, so pretty stacked senior class for this Omaha side. That's a good ball down, though. De Leon and Bautista, I'm surprised that goes the Pioneers' way. It looked like De Leon threw a shoulder into Bautista, but Pioneers get the fortune of that call, as it's going to be a set piece the other way. Will Palmquist will take this one. You imagine this will be a long boot up the field with 28:31 to go in the second half of the Summit League Men's Soccer Championship here at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. By the way, the tournament will be held in Macomb, Illinois next year, as Western Illinois, the co-conference champions with Oral Roberts, but head-to-head goal differential leading to Western Illinois taking the 1 seed, despite the fact that they did lose to Omaha. It's the winner of the regular season, the 1 seed in the tournament, that hosts the tournament the following year. So next year we'll all be going to Macomb, Illinois. Player goes down here, Stefan De Leon, asking for a whistle. Meantime, the other way, here comes Ayats. That's over to Cole Nelson. Hammer. Again, Omaha getting their line share of the possession here. That's a pass down. Vase takes it down well. Vase tries to flick it ahead. Just spent too much on it. Vase upset with himself for too strong of a touch. That looked intriguing there for a second. It was maybe a bit of a miscue defensively there from the Pioneers, but they were able to get away with that one. As Vase took that ball down very well and had some space, and looked like he tried to just nick it by his defender, but just had a bit too much on it. That led to the ball just going to Will Palmquist. Vase takes down Normam, so this will be a set piece the Pioneers' way. 27 minutes to go here in the second half. Liam Johnson. Have a change in the next whistle. It's Eli Mirnis who's going to come back in. Here's O'Hara trying to work his way around Seth Rinderknecht. Rinderknecht's going to just opt to send it out of bounds for the throw-in for Denver. It's Mirnis who comes in. Josh Drack who goes out. That would indicate a bit more of a defensive mind. I should say it's actually Dylan Keeney. My apologies. It's Dylan Keeney who comes in. Dylan Keeney, the redshirt junior from Littleton Heritage High School, comes back in for the Pioneers. Another substitution coming in for Denver. And so it's for Denver, De Leon who comes out, and it's Mirnis who goes in. That would indicate a bit more of that defensive-minded posture there from Jamie Franks and company. Mirnis more of a defensive midfielder, and De Leon more of an attacking mid. Meantime, Russo tries his luck from way out there, from about Preston Judd distance, about 30 yards out. That's going to go way over the crossbar. Those are low percentage shots, to say the least. Don't go in all that often. Miguel Gomez is going to come out for Omaha meantime. And coming in is Stevie C, left back for Omaha. See, a regular in his 2+ years as a Mav, and he's a local product from Central High School there in the city of Omaha. Goal kick coming up here from Jeremy Pollard. About 25 minutes to go here in the Summit League Men's Soccer Championship game. It's been a good one, and a pleasure to have you with us. I'm Chris Bianchi, and yeah, it's certainly a pleasure to have you with us on this Saturday afternoon. Championship Saturday, and Jacob Stenson with the ball. The Pioneers, the advantage thanks to a 28th minute goal from Preston Judd. Ooh, giveaway there in the middle of the park. This is going to be Vase. Vase with a little bit of room. O'Toole had the ball taken away from him. Bautista sends it back out wide to Vase, who's been good in his minutes, at least so far. Again, the Pioneers opting for that defensive look as they're cluttering the middle of the field. Less than 25 minutes to play, so timing becoming more of the essence, and the Mavericks, well, they need to find an equalizer or it's the end of their season. C. Over to Mateu. Mateu, middle of the field. Cole Nelson to Ayats. Ayats out wide to Mateu. Rinderknecht kind of makes a mess of that one. Gutierrez comes all the way back to try and help out defensively, and Omaha blasts up the field. Nice ball there from Russo on one touch, and it'll be headed back by Mateu, as looked like for a second there that could be an intriguing 1v1 situation with Kengo Hira, the freshman from Japan, coming on strong for the Pioneers, but Mateu from Omaha getting there first. And back come the Mavericks, getting close to about the halfway point here of the second half. Set piece and a little foul there, and Omaha take it back over. Nelson. Ayats, the long pass up to Stenson, or up to Gutierrez. Stenson gets there first. Stenson's been doing a very good job there at right back for Denver. Mateu. Middle of the park here is Pep Mateu, senior from Barcelona, Spain. Here's Gutierrez, the junior, with some space. Stenson wins it back over, though, and the Pioneers with a little bit of space. O'Toole, smart pass out wide. Russo slides, does well to save that ball and keep it in play. O'Toole back over to Lucas Russo, the sophomore, transferred from Barry University, and the Brazilian from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Friends with, if you're familiar with the University of Denver soccer program, you probably know the name Andre Shinishiki, helping get Russo here into the University of Denver, or helping recruit him here. O'Toole. Pioneers getting a little bit of possession last minute or two, as it had been pretty much all Omaha here throughout the second half, but now Denver seeing a bit more of the ball. Mom. O'Toole's. Pioneers making simple, crisp passes, nothing too fancy, and that's what I think you like if you're Jamie Franks and company. Play, keep away. Don't take any risks, no need to, obviously, up a goal. Home field. The scoreboard right now reads beautifully for the Pioneers, not so much for Omaha. Long pass up. And there's a takedown there, and it's it's Liam Johnson who goes down. Gutierrez and him each go to the book, as Gutierrez with a little bit of an extra elbow on the way up. Johnson, we do have some bodies here, but more importantly, this will be an opportunity from about 20 yards out. This is from shooting distance for Diego Gutierrez and Omaha. Gutierrez draws the foul. Palmquist kind of initially misread it, and I think that led to Liam Johnson have to kind of come back and make a bit more of a stronger tackle there and make sure that that ball didn't end up being a 1v1 sort of opportunity. Meantime, for Omaha, again, this is, for Gutierrez and Vase, this is probably about right for their, this is probably the fringe of their distance here. It would take a pretty perfect set piece to beat the goalkeeper from this far, but again, we're about 23, 24 yards out. If I had to take a gander on the distance from goal. Again, that's about the fringe distance for both sides. Stenson, I think, coming in, being a bit of a bother. Vase and Gutierrez. Gutierrez goes for the shot, and that's a field goal. And that is disappointing, and frankly, so is that reaction there. Again, college kids here, not a fan of cheering a mishap in a championship game, but on we go. Gutierrez, obviously not what he wanted to do as he sends that ball way up, obviously gets way under the ball. That did look ominous there for a second, and Gutierrez, after an outstanding performance, and what a player he is. He's so dynamic on the ball, the junior from Omaha. I think he's been a bit more troubled by that Denver back line. They've done a nice job on him. Connor McWilliams and Jacob Stenson in particular have been hounding Gutierrez all afternoon. That said, he's gotten a few chances, and you saw one a second ago. He earned that set-piece opportunity based on his hard work there at the offensive end for Omaha. He did get the yellow card there a second ago. Set piece coming up the other way. Winner of this game gets the automatic bid from the Summit League, which means that they will be going to the NCAA tournament. That would mean late this week, one of these two teams will be playing. This upcoming week, one of these two teams will be playing a conference tournament game. O'Hara comes out. Brooks Crawford and a 6'3" frame come in for Denver, and that 6'3" height will come in, you would imagine, handy on set pieces and defensively, again, as Denver adjusts and kind of slinks back into more and more of a defensive posture with less than 20 minutes to go at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. Stoppage of play. Pioneers taking too long in the referee's eyes, so. Stenson loops it on in to Crawford, but it's going to be a quick foul, and this will go the other way with Mateu standing over it. Pass up, but it's a poor one. Pioneers able to quickly win the ball back. Here's Normand, taken down by Bautista. Normand wanting a yellow card there, saying, come on, I'm getting shoved a bit too much, but I don't think that was, frankly, close to a yellow card. Always got to make your pitches, though. Players usually aren't too shy about making those. Long pass out by Calvin Stretch. It's a good one over to Stenson. Long boot up. Looking for Brooks Crawford. Crawford whistled offside, so this will go back Omaha's way. About 18 and a half minutes to go. The difference so far, the 28th minute screamer from Preston Judd. And that is what is the difference so far. But again, 18 minutes and change to go. That is a relative eternity when it comes to soccer. So plenty of time for Omaha to get that, or attempt to get that equalizer. And I would imagine we've got some dramatic moments to go here, one way or the other. Nice tackle there from Brooks Crawford. Comes all the way back from that striker position and make a nice sliding tackle on Martin Bays. And so this will go back over to Omaha. Omaha is kind of struggling to get any grade A opportunities, though, despite the fact they've had so much of the ball. They've kind of lacked in any clear-cut, fantastic opportunities. Faye's kind of had a half one a couple minutes ago. Gutierrez had that set piece that was kind of airmailed a little bit, but again, in terms of those grade A opportunities, those have been lacking just a little bit here from the Omaha side. I think. See if they can change that. It's Gordon on the ball. Gordon over to Hoffman as Omaha passing around the back, and if you're a fan of soccer, you kind of know this. You kind of see this in international games. One team is heavily favored versus the other. When a team is as defensively postured as Denver is right now, it's a foul, so go the Pioneers' way. Team is as defensively postured as the Pioneers are right now. It's very hard to break down. There's just so many bodies there in the middle of the field. Makes creativity, makes really a whole lot of, it makes a lot of offense difficult when there's as cluttered of a midfield as there is right now, and that's obviously by design from Jamie Franks and company. They just want to get the 1-0 win and get out of here. From Omaha, they're looking to obviously open things up, but it gets very difficult when there's 11 players behind the ball. Kind of thinking about those games when sometimes the United States might be playing, I don't know, Haiti or the Dominican Republic or a smaller country like that. Usually those teams at the outset will put in a very defensive posture, and it takes a while sometimes to get a goal because of it, even against an inferior opponent. Obviously, it's a different situation here, but I think you get my idea. Meantime, substitutions up top. Andreas Ermanson, the freshman from Sweden, comes back in for the first time since about the midway point of half number 1. He had a nice opportunity in that first half. I think he just got a pretty good rest, so look for him to potentially come on strong as we coming up to the final quarter hour. Starting to get a bit more desperate, I would say, from the Omaha side of things. Time becoming more of the essence. Ball up, and that's going to be headed away by Mateo, and this will be a throw in the Pioneers' way. Jacob Stenson's going to be the one taking this one. Sends it over to Aiden O'Toole. O'Toole twists around. Well done to keep possession there from the Pioneers. Ball into the middle. It's given away, and it's going to be a foul the other way. So Omaha gets the ball back with about 15 minutes to go. And half number 2, 15:03 now. So again, that clock becoming more and more important. Less than a quarter hour to play here at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. Pioneers looking for their second straight trip to the NCAA tournament. Omaha looking for their second overall in Division I. They transferred over to the Division I level 5 years ago. It's been a successful transition, little doubt about that, as they've been in the title game of the conference each year since they did get there. Ooh, a nice run here from Martin Vaz. Vaz, middle of the box, that's the ball into the box, and that ends at a couple bodies down, but the ball's still not out. Mateu, a little bit more promising here from the Omaha side of things. Gutierrez in the ball. He's got a little bit of space, cuts in the middle. This is Hammer. Hammer sends it up top. That's going to go all the way through to the waiting arms of Will Palmquist. And with 14 minutes to go here in the second half, starting to see a bit more life from the Omaha side of things. They've certainly had a lot of the ball, but again, they have been lacking in some of those clear-cut chances. That was nearly one a second ago with Martin Vaz making a crafty run down the right wing. Cuts the ball into the middle, but ball bounced a little bit too much, and Connor McWilliams making a nice defensive play, so it goes out of bounds. Stefan De Leon sees the ball bounce off of his thigh. This will go for a goal kick here for Jeremy Pollard and company, as Omaha again starting to hurry on up. About 14 minutes to go. If you're a Mavs fan, again, mentioned this at the beginning of the half, you could take solace in the fact that the Mavs found themselves in the same position 2 days ago, almost at this exact point. It was about a minute from now where Omaha did get an equalizer. They were down 2-1 against Western Illinois, the 1 seed. The 79th minute from Marcos Bautista. To be fair, Omaha is pressing quite a bit more and frankly a bit closer to getting a goal in that game. They have been, at least so far. Goals, especially when it's only a 1-goal game, it can happen all of a sudden. All it takes is one boot and one shot, one something for things to change. Here's Stenson. Nice run here, and that is a Swede-on-Swede crime. That's Ermanson taking down his compatriot, Jacob Stenson, and well done there from Jacob Stenson coming out of his right back spot to win that ball and then draw the foul. And tick-tock goes the clock here, folks. 12 and a half to go. So that's a bit of special importance for Denver, is not only do they win that set piece in a potentially favorable opportunity, get a possible goal-scoring chance here, the clock ticks down. And that may be just as important as that overall set piece. But again, it's Jacob Stenson winning the ball and then beating around a few players, then gets taken down by Hermanson.
Billy, half step left.
Now with 12 minutes to go, it's Preston Judd and Josh Drack standing over the ball. Drack curls it. That goes just high. That was an intriguing effort there from Drack, who has that distance. We saw it. We've seen it quite a few times. You give him a chance to go on goal, and Drack will usually take it, but that one goes just high, and that one was maybe a yard or so down. That's got top corner written all over it. Probably had Pollard beat, though Pollard had that one read pretty well. Regardless, a pretty interesting opportunity there just a second ago from the Pioneers. Omaha trying to work it out of the back now with 11:23 to go in the second half. Again, this is about the point where Omaha scored against Western Illinois. They equalized, and then they were able to send it to overtime where they'd go on to win. O'Toole twists around his defender. Nice ball up here. Possible chance on the counter. Here's Drack. Drack has got a little bit of space here. Omaha's got to be careful. Drack tries for the shot on goal. It's defended initially there. Judd wants to foul in the box. And it's going to be a whistle. I think Judd is being talked to here. The line judge has signaled to the referee about something with 10:43 to go here in the second half. And there is a foul of sorts, and it's going to be a set-piece opportunity for the Pioneers just outside of the 18. So this is interesting here from Denver. Again, one of those opportunities. Clock is stopped. Referee did signal a stoppage of play. So it takes away a little bit of the advantage in terms of ticking off the clock a little bit. But set-piece opportunity. Preston Judd was tugged. The line judge saw it, and it was signaled to him, to the main referee by the line judge. So the main referee obliging. This is a very dangerous spot.
Billy, hold it. You're going to be tight together. Tight.
Just outside of the 18. Here's Drack and Stenson, and maybe Judd standing over the ball. I would think this would be Drack, who is a bit of an artist in these areas, but it's Judd and Drack standing over at Omaha with the wall, about 8 yards from goal. It's about an 18-yard out opportunity here. Drack's going to take it. Drack, ooh, just high there from the junior transfer. That was close. Had the power, had the place, had the corner picked out. Certainly had Pollard beat. Just a bit too high on that one, and so that'll go out of bounds. Meantime, Omaha makes a change. It's Erminson that comes out, I believe, and so does Ed Gordon. Bautista back in. He just got a bit of a breather. I think it's Miguel Gomez back in as well. Omaha setting on up. Now getting to about the 10-minute mark here of the second half. So again, bit more desperate as we get closer and closer to that possible final whistle. Ayats, stretch opts to blast it back down. But the Mavs set back up with less than 10 minutes to go now. 9:48, Rinderknecht over to Hammer here on the near side. Hammer sends it down to Martin Vase, the crafty midfielder from France. Vase back over to Ayats. Ayats with the long pass up. Bounces around the box, and Gutierrez looking for a Sports Center goal there as he tried to kind of twist it around and go for the kind of half bicycle volley. That's a low percentage shot, but I think Gutierrez felt he had no other option, so he tried to go for that. I think Gutierrez has been sufficiently frustrated by this Denver back line so far this afternoon. Gutierrez was the man of the match. He didn't get a goal, but he was, in my view, no doubt the man of the match in the semifinal. Today he has been far less on the ball. He's had a few half chances, but not nearly as effective as he was back on Thursday. Meantime, here is Denver with a little bit of possession. Drack will send the ball up to Judd. It's going to bounce off of Judd's thighs and back out for a goal kick here. 8:43. So again, time becoming more and more precious for Omaha, and Denver, I think, going to just resort to happily getting back more into that shell formation. That look at things. Stevie C out of the back with less than 8.5 to go here. Noah Yachts. Far side to Hammer. Hammer, long pass up looking for C. That's a bit too much on that one. Again, just Omaha had a few chances, just thought they're starting to look a little bit more intriguing last 5 minutes, but again, just haven't seen the explosion on the offensive side of things or that real dangerous look to that Omaha offense, at least not yet, and there's still plenty enough time for that to change. Speaking of change, Pioneers make one. It's Judd who goes out, Crawford who comes back in, and it's for that reason you just saw a second ago. Crawford using that big frame to win a throw-in. Meantime, Omaha coming out of their own half and maybe catching Denver a little bit defensively, but well done there by Aiden O'Toole. Pioneers trying a quick counter. De Leon smartly slows it down for Denver, and so does Drac. Pioneers send it all the way back over to Stretch. Stretch again, simple, clean passes. The name of the game here if you're Denver. Just want to hold on possession and use that clock to your advantage. 7:14 to go here in the second half, and Stenson earns the free kick for the Pioneers. And again, that's just playing to the Pioneers' advantage as the clock continues to tick with less than 7 minutes to play at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. The Pioneers getting closer and closer to that second straight trip to the NCAA tournament. And it's Normand who's taken down pretty cleanly there. And again, that's another potentially promising opportunity here for the Pioneers to at least eat up some of that clock. Taken here by Stenson. Stretch. And it's shot here from Drac, and that's an intriguing one. Pollard able to make the save. I'm not sure I love that shot from, at least from the Denver side of things. Not sure you love that shot for this reason, even though Drac is the guy to take that. Probably better off just making simple passes and just eating up more of the clock rather than taking those long shots. But Denver continues to let the effectively milk down the clock. Again, avoiding any real clear-cut opportunities, at least so far. De Leon working his way down. And Omaha trying to work it out of their own half, and they're just having trouble doing that, frankly. But Normand, good work there from the holding mid from Fort Collins, the junior, Destam Normand. Sends it way up the field, and it's Gomez who wins possession back for Omaha, who again, kind of getting a little troubled here, getting clean passes up the field. Ball comes the other way, as I mentioned, some of those difficulties. O'Toole up to Crawford. Crawford back over to O'Toole. O'Toole with a little space, top of the box. He's going to twist his way around, sends that shot just wide of Jeremy Pollard's goal, and that was intriguing there from Denver indeed. And I guess a whistle here. I think it's on a technicality just to get the ball down and inside the box area. Less than 5 minutes to play now, so now starting to get to desperation territory. If you're a Mavs fan, if you're a Pioneers fan, you can just about taste that Summit League crown. Whistle. Clock is stopped at 4:40 to go here in half number 2, and the whistle is down on the far side of the field. And I'm sorry, my apologies, the far side of the field, I can't make out who that is, who is down for the Mavs side of things. I believe it's Bautista. Yeah, it's Marcos Bautista, the senior from Spain, from Albacete, Spain. The Wisconsin Green Bay transfer scored the equalizer against Western Illinois in the 79th minute back on Thursday. He comes out. I think we're going to have a quick substitution, and I think it's Cole Nelson who's going to perhaps come back in here for Omaha. Both teams able to get a quick drink and a quick regroup from their coaches during that injury timeout. Nelson in for Bautista. I believe that's due to injury. So then we're going to have a set piece here from the Pioneers. Stenson sitting up over the ball. I think he's going to be happy to just kind of blast it down a little bit, as I think a second goal becoming less important to Denver. It's just obviously they would welcome a second goal, but getting one is of less priority to J.B. Franks and company at this point. I think Bautista's going to come back in pretty quickly here. Cole Nelson, I think, plays a bit more in the holding mid-roll, a bit more defensive-minded, while Bautista plays a little further up the field. Still waiting. Whistle. Game back on. Stenson. Gonna send it up to Crawford. Does well to, even though that intention of that I think was for Crawford to kind of run it down to the corner and just let the clock play out a little bit. Crawford does well to at least avoid a goal kick and opts to just boot it off to the side and earn the Pioneers, or earn Omaha a throw in deep in their own half. .405 to go, and Omaha wins a whistle. They're taking it quickly, obviously. Less than 4 minutes to go. You've got a limited number of possible offensive opportunities at this point of the contest. Rinderknecht over to Bautista. Bautista, long pass up. Wynn kind of seems to knock that down. Here's Gutierrez, though, in a little bit of space. Gutierrez dancing his way around. Gutierrez with some room. Looks for the shot. That's way wide there from Gutierrez, who, again, I think has been a little bit frustrated this afternoon. I think that is pretty safe to say after a dynamite performance back on Thursday. Just not quite what he was then, and maybe a bit too quick with the shots. We're going to have a whistle to allow for the goal kick here from Will Palmquist and the Denver Pioneers. 3:15 to go here in half number 2. Pioneers getting closer and closer to that second straight Summit League tournament title. The 5th in 6 years. Ooh, we got a whistle down here. McWilliams tumbles down. Mateu and McWilliams both down. 2:46 to go here in the second half, as this game, as you might imagine, getting a bit more on the chippy side. Pep Mateu does not like the call. Whistle now stops the clock with 2:42 to go here in the second half. Maybe seeing some frustration coming out there from the Omaha side of things, as Mateu doesn't like the call, but again, Omaha has kind of struggled in terms of getting any clear-cut opportunities on goal, and that's largely a credit to the formation and the defensive tactics here from Jimmy Franks. They've effectively just cluttered the middle of the field and made it very difficult for Omaha to really do much of anything on the offensive side of the field. Player goes down there for Denver. I think it's Crawford. He comes right back up. Normand. Again, at this stage of the game, it's just almost like a hockey power play at this point. Just kind of blasting the ball on the other side of the field. Omaha quickly takes it, 2:20 to play. Omaha needs the goal here. Nice move here from Miguel Gomez. Long pass up, and that is got a bit too much mustard on it, and that's going to wind up easily and harmlessly into the waiting arms of Will Palmquist with about 2 minutes to play. So for Omaha, you got about 120 seconds. Otherwise, you don't get a goal here in the next 115. You're going to wind up going home, though a notable effort here from Omaha. They've battled pretty hard going back to the Summit League semifinal game, played very well against Western Illinois. They had a couple of decent opportunities in the first half, notably, and this is a whistle here, 1:26 to go here in the game. Yellow card. This is going to be shown to Josh Drack, just the 3rd overall. And so for Omaha, maybe a little something here. It's been a time coming. They've been a little frustrated offensively, but Noah Yachts is going to sit up over the ball. And it looks like Omaha pushing everyone forward. Now Yachts being called off by goalkeeper Jeremy Pollard, who says, "I'll take it." And he comes up to send it over to Yachts. Omaha opting for the short set piece. Vase Ball bounces around. It's into the box. And what a last-second desperate play there from Jacob Stenson or Connor McWilliams. One of the two coming up with a huge block on a shot from Billy Hoffman. And still not over yet. Less than a minute to go here, folks, in the second half of the Summit League Men's Soccer Tournament final. Ball comes in from Ayat. Headed away, and Drac is going to blast it out of here, and that doesn't quite do it yet. Quick throw-in coming in here for Omaha with less than 40 seconds to play, but Pioneers can just about taste it. Does Omaha have another chance left in them? C, up to Hammer. Hammer, long ball up. Vase takes it down. That's going to go out of bounds for the goal kick, and that will about do it here for Denver with 18 seconds left. It's hard to see Omaha being able to muster up a chance here, and the clock continues to tick. All Palmquist has to do is just boot it down the length of the field. The Pioneer bench is ready. It is set. And for the University of Denver, it is their second straight trip to the NCAA tournament. The Denver Pioneers are your 2019 men's soccer tournament champions. We've got some shoving here going on. It's ugly. Billy Hoffman and Stefan De Leon shoving. Hoffman sadly seeing his career come to a close. Obviously some frustration from the Omaha side of things. And you know there's going to be a lot of emotions out there on the field from both sides of the field. These are two rivals, two teams that have played each other for a long time. For the most part, it's good sportsmanship, but there was a little incident there at the very end between Stefan De Leon from Denver and Billy Hoffman from Omaha. But now handshakes are abound, and for Denver, it is another successful season for, at least in the conference side of things. The Pioneers now head to the NCAA tournament. They'll find out their opponent coming up here early in the week. For Omaha, they conclude a hard-fought season with an overall record of 4-9-4. The Mavericks losing on a wonderful goal from Preston Judd for Denver. That came in the 28th minute, an absolute screamer of a volley, and that went right into the corner. And so Denver comes up with the win. Pioneers win by a 1-0 count. It's been an absolute pleasure of a Summit League Conference season. The Pioneers, the tournament champions, once again. Thanks for joining us on a mostly sunny afternoon here at the University of Denver Soccer Stadium. Again, your final score, Denver 1, Omaha 0. I'm Chris Bianchi, and thanks again for joining us.
One, two, three, four.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to present the 2019 Summit League Men's Soccer Championships Awards. At this time, we direct your attention to midfield, where Summit League Assistant Commissioner Brian Miller and Technical Sergeant Carlos Reyes from the U.S. Air Force will present the awards. Before presenting the awards, let's give the participants of the weekend championship a round of applause in appreciation of their great effort. First, we will announce the 2019 All-Tournament team, selected by the participating coaches based on the student-athletes' performances in this weekend's Summit League Championship. As your name is called, please come forward and remain until all members of the team have been announced. Number 1, Tanguy Guirino, Oral Roberts. 2, Gustavo Vargas, Oral Roberts. 3, Daisuke Asuka, Western Illinois. 4, Tim Trillick, Western Illinois. 5, Marcos Bautista, Omaha. 6, Seth Rinderknecht, Omaha. 7, Pep Mateu, Omaha. 8, Preston Judd, Denver. 9, Will Palmquist, Denver. 10, Jacob Stenson, Denver. And 11, Callum Stretch, Denver. And now it's time to announce the most valuable player from the tournament. The 2019 Summit League Men's Soccer Tournament. Most valuable player from Denver is Preston Judd. Now let's recognize the runner-up of this weekend's championship with a round of applause in appreciation for the University of Nebraska Omaha and their season accomplishments. Okay, it's time to present the awards to the members of the 2019 Summit League Men's Soccer Championships, the Denver Pioneers. The Summit League would like to recognize the individual members of the winning program. After your name is called, please step forward to receive your championship medallions. Ethan Ash. Danny Barlow. Brooks Crawford. Stefan De Leon. Josh Drack. Kobe Gray. Bailey Heller. Liam Johnson. Preston Judd. Alex Cada. Dylan Keeney. Greg Lamadou. Cyrus Margano. Connor McWilliams. Eli Marinis. Destin Norman. Aiden O'Toole. Kengo Ohira. Will Palmquist. Lucas Russo. Jacob Stenson, and Callum Stretch. Strength and conditioning coach Matt Shaw. Athletic trainer Michael Eckert. Volunteer coach Dan Jackson. Assistant coach Masaki Heavy. Assistant coach Owen Griffith. And head coach Jamie Franks. And finally, Jacob Stenson, captain from Denver, please come forward and accept the championship trophy. Denver will represent the Summit League in the NCAA Men's Soccer Championship. Be sure to go to ncaa.com on Monday, November 18th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for the Men's Soccer Selection Show. Once again, we'd like to congratulate all of this weekend's participants of the 2019 Men's Soccer Championship for showcasing the sport of soccer to the fans of the Summit League. A special thanks to Vice Chancellor of Athletics Carlton Creech, Head Coach Jamie Franks, Championship Managers Cindy Nagai and Nico Blankenship, and all of the staff members at the University of Denver who have given their time to run this championship event. Best of luck to the Denver Pioneers in the NCAA Championship. Thank you for attendance and support of these student athletes, and have a safe trip home.